you. I want to thank you so very much. And Bob, thank you for your long-standing leadership and friendship. You know, I was planning on being here in Philadelphia today, and then I heard that y'all were having this dinner, and I said, well, let me just stop by. And so I wanted to come by, most of all, to just say thank you to everybody.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Now, I've got a list of folks that I know are here. This list is probably going to not be inclusive enough, but I'm going to try and go through it. Mayor, thank you. Sheet Metal Workers Local 19, it's good to be in the House of Labor. Thank you. Representative Dwight Evans, who was with me earlier today, I thank you. Chair Sharif Street, you are just killing it. Thank you. And all the elected officials here who are here today, Bob Brady, Shirley Gregory, the mighty, mighty 49 Ward, for 60 years of your leadership. So I came by to say thank you. I'm on my way back to the airport to go back to DC. But truly thank you, because you all in Philadelphia, but in Pennsylvania, are killing it. You are on a winning streak like we have not seen.
Yeah.
What you did for Governor Shapiro, Senator Fetterman, what you have done in terms of the Supreme Court, what you did in the last 6 special elections, you are showing what can be done. And Mayor, you talk about grit, you talk about determination, but also let's talk about a sense of optimism. The fight that we are in is based on the fact that we know what we stand for, and when you know what you stand for, you know what to fight for. We stand for the people. We stand for the proposition that the true measure of the strength of a leader is not based on who you beat down, it is based on who you lift up. We stand for the proposition that real leaders have as part of their character some level of concern and consideration for the suffering of other people and then take it upon themselves to do something about it. That's what we stand for, and that's why we have been winning. The fight that we have been in, the fight that we are in, is born out of love of country. We love our country. We believe in the foundational ideals upon which our country was founded. We know we've not fully reached it yet, but we know that there has been no progress in our nation that has been achieved without the people taking to the streets, organizing, and doing the work of fighting for all that we know is good and right. And this election coming up, you know, many of us have worked on elections for years, and we've talked many times about, oh, this is the one. This here? This is the one. This is the one. This is the one. This is the election where we each are being presented with a question, which is, what kind of country do we want to live in? Truly, what kind of country do we want to live in? And what I know about the Philly Democrats is that we are prepared to answer that question every day because we know the power of each individual and the collective to answer that question. This election coming up in November, you know, of the many issues that are confronting our country and the world that are complex and not binary, November of 24 is binary. Just pull up that split screen. On the one side, you have in Joe Biden and our administration, an administration and leadership that is about care and compassion and competence. We have achieved with you the wind in our sails, historic work. I-95 in 12 days, that bridge. Thanks in large part to all the folks in labor, the building trades, IBW, all of those folks who put their skill into showing that organized labor unions know how to build America and do it quickly and do it competently. In our administration, pull up the split screen. We took on an issue like bringing down drug prices, like insulin, knowing that black folks are 60% more likely to be diagnosed with diabetes, Latinos 70% more likely. And we have finally capped the cost of insulin at $35 a month, so our seniors don't have to decide whether they can either pay their rent or fill their prescription. We are finally letting Medicare negotiate drug prices so that we will cap the annual cost of prescription medication at $2,000 a year. We are doing the work of forgiving student loans. Up to 14 million Americans have benefited. Raise your hand if you're any one of them, or if you know somebody who has. Testify. These are just a few examples. Care, compassion, and confidence. On the other side of that split screen, you have the former president, who is the epitome of what is about chaos and division and destruction. You have in the former president, Donald Trump, somebody who has openly applauded dictators and has said he will be a dictator on day one. You have in the former president someone who has admitted that he will take office if he were to take office again and weaponize the Department of Justice against his enemies. You have in the former president someone who has talked about the fact that he is proud. Just this morning, did everybody hear him this morning? He is proud that he handpicked 3 members of the United States Supreme Court who took a constitutional right that had been recognized from the people of America, from the women of America. Handpicked 3 people to the Supreme Court, the court of Thurgood and RBG. And thereafter, in state after state, laws have been passed criminalizing doctors and nurses, punishing women, making no exception even for rape and incest, taking a freedom, a fundamental freedom of a person to make decisions about their own body and their own life, as opposed to having their government tell them what to do. And this man this morning talked about being proud. Understand the nature and the character of this split screen and what we have on each side. And what we know, in the words of Joe Biden, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And we each have the power to determine the outcome of this moment. And so I wanted to stop by on my way to the airport to say thank you. To say thank you. Because we know what we are fighting for. We know what we stand for. And when we fight,